Tippy Timer Damies, Top Cat here and welcome back to the channel. This was the first kit I ran in the Edge of Fate campaign. At negative 50, everything hurts and all the bad dudes is just going to eat up all that damage you throw at them. So I wanted a kit that I could easily cycle out damage. This kit gives us 8-second grenades and super spam stronger than a T-Crash. I know a lot of you guys use weapons like the Polaris Lance, but I wanted to use the Alethanum for that special weapon damage with a primary ammo cost. I've since perfected this kit. You're going to want 2 pieces of Aeon Renewal. Its 2-piece perk is Force Converter, and after a final blow with our rockets or grenade launchers, we're going to gain a speed boost for a short time, and agility is king when avoiding enemy fire. We pair this with a 2-piece of the Aeon Adapter set. Its 2-piece perk is Force Absorption, where final blows with any rocket launchers or grenade launchers will temporarily decrease area of effect damage coming towards us. I believe this to be a 10% splash damage reduction. It's definitely noticeable, and this also counts for self damage. This allows us to barrel stuff people with our Alethanum grenade launcher. This rocks primary ammo and its spikes dig into targets. They're going to create vestiges. These track back towards us. We collect them so we can create special ammo and heavy ammo for both ourselves and our allies. This means we can kind of run a version of a double special kit with ease, despite the fact it's a primary. Now, if this GL isn't your slice of pie, have a think to yourselves. There are many other great GLs or rocket launchers out there that you could use to a similar effect. Now, the exotic legs I'm using here, the Blastwave Striders, whilst these might not be your first point of call for a behemoth build, with the changes to our armor system, these actually fill a lot of gaps. They damage better and have a constant source of damage resist. In the past, whenever I was telling so many of you Behemoth is best, I'd always recommend the Synthos, but we no longer need that exotic to boost our super damage. We can do so purely with our armor stats without any caveats. The Blastwaves give us damage resistance to our explosives. This means we can barrel stuff our enemies with our GL like we would a shotgun. Much like the Alethanum, the Blastwaves also have a charge bar, and once charged, we can slide or deal safe damage to rocket jump backwards, puking out ice formations all over the battlefield. Whenever we rocket jump, we're also going to give ourselves frost armor for some bonus damage resist. And with all these ice formations, the way I've got this kit set up, it's going to offer us even more frost armor to give us a 36% damage resist on top of what the exotics already give us. At its heart, this is a grenadier kit, so I've got 4 pieces of it with 1-piece gunner. So the majority of our stats are going to go towards our grenade and super, both of which are 150 with 100 weapon stats. This is going to give us bonus weapon damage, reload and handling. We're going to be using that glacial grenade. This is great both for offense and defense, and it's going to be an easy shatter with our GLs. At base damage, these hit for 899, but we're going to crank that damage up to around 1726. Shatter damage is always a little bit iffy. With this grenade, I've got 2500, but 1726 is kind of like the average. We equip Whisper of Fishes. This increases both our damage and the size of burst from our stasis crystals and frozen targets. I've got 1 grenade font on my gauntlets to give us another 20 stat points. As I'll explain later, we'll always have an armor charge cycling through us, so you can always assume that we're going to have 170 grenade stats. We equip Whisper of Shards, whereby shattering a stasis crystal temporarily boosts our grenade recharge rate by 500%, and shattering additional crystals increases the duration of this benefit. As we've always got ice strewn about the battlefield, thanks to our blast waves, this is going to give us some stupid quick turnarounds on our grenades. Our first aspect is Tectonic Harvest, whereby shattering stasis crystals or frozen targets is going to create us a stasis shard. These shards feed us melee energy when picked up, and every time we collect one, it gives us a stack of frost armor. We use Whisper of Conduction, so when we're near stasis shards, we're going to suck those up, meaning we don't have to scamper around searching for our damage resist. It's going to come to us, on top of feeding us melee energy. Now, I don't really use the melee as an offensive tool. more so about mobility. It's good when you do that Blastwave attack, spukes out the ice, then you just punch back in. But then we add in the combination of elemental coalitions, which has chance to create a stasis shard from any source, and pair it with refresh threads. It's going to feed us energy to our least charge ability whenever we pick up a shard, so now we're really going to start cooking with those nades. At that 100 grenade stat, we reach max grenade cooldown of 56 seconds, but with this cocktail, we'll have a full grenade charge back in under 8 seconds. Then we incorporate an elemental charge mod on our kicks, whereby collecting a stasis shard, we have a chance to give ourselves an armor charge. With one of these grenades, we can create as many as 8 stasis shards, meaning we can get 3 stacks of armor charge with ease. The second part of this kit makes our super stupid strong. The Glacial Quake is already the best super in terms of raw damage output. At base, it already does twice as much as a T-Crash, doing around 26k damage on the regular, but we're going to take that a lot further. I've got mine doing as much as 43k. This is thanks to a couple of things, one being our 150 armor stat, then I've got one super font on my helmet. What's great about this is you don't even need to have that armor charge before popping it, as that first wave of crystals detonates on the boss is going to create shards, those suck back towards us and give you that bonus damage. You can run 2 super fonts on your helmet, but I found it was smarter to run 1 ashes to assets. This way we could juggle ourselves between grenades, GLs and super on the regular. When it comes to our GL damage, we can either direct hit or splash hit. It's actually stronger doing the splash hit, but direct hits will feed you more vestiges. Our base damage can start at 194, but we can crank this up to 1660 per shot. That's nearly as strong as our grenades. As we got those fonts running, that means we've got an armor charge consistently getting fed to us. So I've hooked up 1 stasis surge mod on my boots. The Alethanum's catalyst is nuts. It's 1 for all, so we get 3 hits on separate targets, of which we can do with 1 projectile, and we gain a 35% weapon damage bonus for 10 seconds. We've got elemental overdrive in the artifact, so when we pick up a stasis shard, it's going to grant us another 10% weapon damage to our stasis weapons. We've actually got 2 great stasis weapons in that heavy slot from Edge of Fate. Both the Ulterior Observation and the Aurora Dawn will have great synergy with this kit. We then add Whisper Rending, so our primary weapons, which the Alethanum is going to increase the damage to stasis crystals and frozen targets. This is a 100% increase to our crystals, making for very easy shatters and a 50% damage bonus to our frozen targets. Now I wanted to have 100 weapon stats for this kit. It's the reason I slotted a gunner piece in there, and on my grenader pieces I've tried to get that 3rd spike into the weapon slot. This grants us a further 10% reload and handling and a 15% damage boost against our miners and mages. My fire team here is got some stupid good air clear kits, and I still managed to outscore them in the kill feed with my 1 at a time GL approach. But as my GL is a primary, I honestly barely feel the need to use a secondary or heavy whilst I'm running this kit. I mainly run like champ stun things there, or weapons for mobility purposes. I've got a harmonic loadout on my gloves to just make it flow a little bit smoother, so I can properly control the rate of play. I'm running that diamond lance. This awards me 3 fragment slots. When we shatter or defeat a target with a stasis ability or weapon, we're going to make ourselves one of those Shaka Zulu sticks, so we can freeze everybody on the field to aid in that rending damage. Our last fragment is Rhyme. This increases our frost armor stacks up to 8 for that 36% damage resist. Now feel free to pause here for all my mods, fragments and artifact, but there will be a dim link in the description down below. This is probably my favorite kit I've used this season. It is a proper balance between ability spam, super spam and weapon spam. It's got damage resist up the wazoo, so we can chug along in mythic content. When I first saw the Aeon armor, I wasn't all that excited, then it dawned on me and I haven't looked back. Once you're in the 400s, you can easily go and farm some of these out from those loot caves upon Kepler. If you're a little over solar, try chilling out with some stasis. It's tons of fun. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy time at Damies, what a tie.